My mom always said, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Hi, welcome to Film Review. I'm Dylan Steffel, your host. And today, I'm going to be reviewing Forrest Gump, a movie by Robert Zemeckis. So, now for a little background on this. It was made in 1994. Why is it important that it was released in 1994? Because this movie kind of gave a look back on recent events like the Cold War, the Vietnam War, anything that involved United States. It kind of gave a more lighthearted look to this. As I said previously, this movie was directed by Robert Zemeckis. If you don't know that name, if you know Steven Spielberg, he is a Steven Spielberg protege. And Zemeckis also directed Castaway, Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3. As for the question of when does this take place? It takes place during the mid-1950s all the way up to the mid-1980s. And it takes place mostly in parts of Alabama, Georgia, Vietnam, and DC, and across the whole world, across the whole United States. Now, you may be asking, who was the typical audience for this? It was mainly teenagers, some older adults. It also starred a very popular actor at the time, Mr. Tom Hanks. As you can see here, look at that smile. You cannot deny that smile. Now, the whole main purpose of why it was written, besides the kind of more lighthearted look on things from a couple years back, Forrest Gump has a disability. It is never stated exactly what his disability is, but most people tend to assume that it is either autism or Asperger's. But the whole main purpose of that is so that no matter what you come from or what kind of disability you have, it doesn't stop you from being the best person that you can be. And later on, it also talks about how you should always appreciate life while you have it. Otherwise, getting into some more technical elements, let's first talk about the costumes. The costumes that he wore were just so elaborate. Like, look, do you see that blue checkered shirt with his Bubba Gump hat? Funnily enough, if you notice throughout the movie, he wears a blue checkered shirt every time there's a transitional phase in his life. So, when he first went to Alabama, when he first moved to Georgia, he wore a blue checkered shirt. When he went to go meet Jenny, he wore a blue checkered shirt. It just shows that the director has such an attention to details that it's not even Another one of these more technical elements is how his autism affected his life compared to how he made the best of it. As I said previously, he lived in Alabama and he was a very good football player, so he got a scholarship to the University of Alabama, despite him not being able to communicate well with others. He also went to Vietnam, as I said previously as well, and he served under Lieutenant Dan. You couldn't do that now with his disability. That is an automatic no now. But back then, he made the best of it, and he fought extremely well. And he also became a very good ping pong player. If you tend to focus on one thing, ping pong is your perfect sport. Lastly, and most importantly, is the historical accuracy. Mr. Tom Hanks said that he would not star in this movie unless it was historically accurate. So the director and the cinematographer CGI'd him into these interviews just that way it could be relevant and historic. All in all, I give this movie 5 stars. It's a very good movie. You don't even begin to realize just how much of an impact it has on today's society. Just look at him sitting there. You just can't even